excited about our first guest tonight, who is, of course, a cast member on SCTV and has starred in numerous films. Beginning Monday, he can be seen on his brand new program, The Martin Short Show. Please welcome Martin Short. Do that at the beginning of every one of your shows, this absorbing the love of the audience?
You know, I think at the beginning, but I think quickly could wear thin. Don't you think?
I would say
like
do it
up through like this, and just people just saying, I'm going to tune in after he does the pose.
Let's wait. Let's put it on fast forward if we taped it.
Absolutely.
Very nice to see you, by the way.
Nice to see you, and always thrilling to see you. And of course, you, Andrew, always a thrill.
Thank you.
Particularly though, you know, very few people know this about Conan and I. And again, I don't want to break a trust, but very few people know that you saved my life years ago. It's true, and like I'm going to lie.
But you would be capable of lying.
No, it was true. I was doing laps a few years ago at the Beverly Hills pool. I like to stay in shape. It's Pilates and laps for me. And I was doing laps, and suddenly I was reflecting on past defeats and took in too much water. Took in some water, and down I go, and Conan happened to be there. He jumped in, pulled me out, gave me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, all true. And I remember how awkward I felt, having to thank you for my life, while at the same time asking you to take your hand out of my bathing suit. I remember this as if it were yesterday. I remember this as if it were yesterday.
I dropped something.
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Checking for vital signs.
Yeah.
You want to see if there's a pulse of some form.
And let me say, you're quite a healthy man. All right.
Thank you very much.
You know, I'm thinking about you recently. I think about you often. But
That's
recently, about those trunks, no, I'm thinking about you because the telethon, the annual Jerry Lewis telethon, of course, was this weekend. And you were one of the featured performers.
It was an amazing thrill to go and to watch something your whole life, you know, from a little kid on, and then to actually be on the telethon. Mm-hmm. Because I've always been amazed at Jerry. You know, I mean, I'll watch and, you know, yeah, Tote Boy, yeah, show me, do me, Phoenix, that's good, Moorhead, how good, what? And I watch it, you know, for a few hours, and, you know, and Jerry's not a young man, and I watch it, and I'm startled at the energy, and then it's around midnight, and I go to sleep, and I have a full 8 hours, and I wake up, and I come down, and I'm a little groggy, and I say, kids, don't jump on Daddy till I've had coffee. And I turn on the TV, and there's Jerry looking exactly the same, going, yeah, nice, two-board boy, good life. It is unbelievable. Now, so to be there was really quite exciting.
Well, we have a photo of you with Jerry that was taken.
This is at the rehearsal.
At the rehearsal. Oh. That's very nice.
Father and son.
That's a great picture to have. That go on your piano. That's very nice.
That's going right on the piano, and go right on the keys.
I don't want to embarrass you. You embarrass easily. You've many accomplishments. You've conquered show business in many its forms. And Tony Award. You won a Tony Award, I think, since the last time we talked, didn't you?
I did win a Tony Award.
Isn't that he won a Tony Award? No, I know you hate that I brought this up.
I hate that you brought it up. I do. It's an amazing thing to win a Tony Award. But as Paul Schaefer, my old friend, says, my family are my riches. But still, awards are exciting. And it was startling, and I was backstage, and suddenly these people are coming up, and the first person that came up to me was, this sounds like a made-up story.
This is just after you won.
Well, it's like after you're taken to the press room, and a guy who was one of the first producers, early producers in The Goodbye Girl, which is the first Broadway show I did. Thank you. And, no.
We had to, I actually told them beforehand, don't go crazy at that. It'll wake people up at home.
Anyway, so this producer who shall remain nameless came up to me and he said, he was very emotional, he was very excited. You know, Broadway. He was a Broadway. Yeah. And you remember, you have to underline the way
few
part.
things.
Well, you have to underline the way part,
yeah.
Because if you don't, get out of town. But he said to me, he said, can I say something to you? You are a Broadway star. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You, right in this moment, are a Broadway star. And your bow tie matches your eyes. He said, which I thought was sweet. I thought it was sweet that he'd be that complimentary. And Sir John Gielgud was backstage.
No.
94 years old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He said to me, and I thought, it was true. I thought he was saying, congratulations. I later found out he was just asking for water. But at that time,
Stop.
You're never quite sure.
You've done a lot of films. You did a movie that I thought was very unusual. A movie with Charles Grodin. Have you seen this movie, Clifford? You play a 10-year-old boy.
Yeah, it was strange.
Which the moxie, the guts, for at the time you were in your mid-60s, and you played...
Yeah. I was 67 at the time. And it was interesting because I'd only had my eyes done then. No, it was a very strange idea of a film. And of course, Charles Grodin was in it, and Grodin was hysterical. And every scene we, end up improvising. But what was the hysterical story from that movie was that I had to wear shorts in most of the movie.
I remember, yeah.
I know you do. But I know, back to it's a theme. But the wardrobe, the makeup people, had given me Nair, the hair leg remover. And they had wanted me to nair my legs. Mm-hmm. So I looked like a little boy in the legs. And, of course, I show up for the first day of shooting, and I forget to nair my legs. And not being particularly a modest person, I said, well, that's fine. We're late. Why don't I just, and I took off my pants. I'm wearing jockey underwear. And I said, and I didn't know these two women who were the hairdressers. Said, why don't you nair my legs? But the makeup artist, this guy named John Elliott, was an old friend of mine. So I started catching up with him. So I put my legs up on the counter like this. And I'm talking to John, and they're putting the cream on, and they're letting it dry, and then they're wiping the hair off. And I'm talking to John. I never looked down over at them. And finally, after about 10 minutes, I looked down, and I realized that my penis is hanging out of my underwear. And it had been, I kid you not, and it had been the whole time. So I said...
the whole 10 minutes,
yeah. So about... 2 weeks later, I went up to Chris Lee, the hairdresser, and I said, Chris, let me ask you something, now that we're buddies and everything. I said, that first day when you were nairing my legs and everything, was anything exposed that shouldn't have been exposed? And she said, yeah, it was, and I'll tell you something. If I knew you then, like I know you now, I would have shoved that thing back in.
If only.
It was a low moment. It was a low moment. Boy, we're on my crotch tonight.
Yes, we are. You always ruin the show with your dirty humor.
I know. I mustn't work blue, and yet it's fun.
Let's talk about your show for a moment.
Would you?
You're doing this show, the Martin Short Show, and I'm thinking, first of all, do you feel like you're the right kind of guy to do one of these shows? Do you feel like you have what it takes?
Well, I think that, I was thinking about, what makes someone click in show business. Mm-hmm. And I think it's the size of your head. I really do. There's a theory. No, this is not a new theory. That the bigger the head, the bigger the career.
Right.
For example, Juanita Quigley. Who's Juanita Quigley? Exactly, small head. You never heard of her. But, look at Jay Leno.
Jay Leno, giant melon.
Oh, come on in.
Yeah.
You have quite a big little head on you.
I have a big old Irish pumpkin head, yeah.
Elizabeth Taylor has a huge head. No, she does. I met her once, and she said, oh, I can't find a hat to fit my noggin. It's very hard for her. I appear to have a big head.
Right.
But I really don't. I'm just wearing mini-me's hand-me-downs as we speak, and so that it accentuates. But no, I think that, so my head is the right size. I'm feeling optimistic. I'm feeling pumped.
I'm feeling good about the show 13th. Just because, what's the date again?
September 13th.
That's when we premiered, 6 years ago.
Are you serious?
That's right. Good luck date to start.
Wow.
Because we're really doing the town on the show.
No, it's funny.
People were quiet like, why? Your show isn't, we despise you.
No, they didn't.
But one of the things that's interesting is that you're going to do a lot of sketch comedy on the show, and you've proven yourself in that venue, and we were looking at, we have a clip here, I think, from the program. This is from a test show, is that right?
No, this is from, well, I don't know what you're showing. Oh, this is from a piece that we're which I think will be on the first show, which is the Primetime Journal Today, which is our 2020.
Right.
And and this is a little insert. The premise of the piece was that we are, as new journalists, are covering a story where Gen Xers, Kathy Griffin and Andy Dick and Janine Garofalo are covering and protesting the execution of a man, and they're against it.
All right, let's take a look at this clip from the Martin Short Show.
To add clout and credibility to her cause, Griffin enlisted the support of comedy icons Andy Dick and Janine Garofalo.
It's like you'd think in a country that says you're innocent until you're proven guilty, that they would be a little less quick to judge. That's it. I'm going to take off my pants.
I mean, I can't even believe that they still send people to prison. I mean, don't they have a pill for that?
I wish. I think that prisons make prisoners into criminals. Literally, I do. Janine? Is that funny? Look, I've got no pants on. Doesn't that blow your mind?
It's hard to do an exaggerated Andy Dick.
I know. That is,
very funny.
That is the fabulous Mary Shear.
Yes.
And Blaine Capatch.
Well, we were looking at a bunch of clips today. It does look like a very funny show.
Thank you very much.
The Martin Short Show premieres Monday, September 13th. Check your local listings for times. And you're also in the new movie Mumford, which opens September 24th.
Directed, produced by Lawrence Kasdan.
Very nice. Martin, thank you very much for coming. Best of luck on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hilarious as always. Martin Short, John Tesh coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.